Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This will be my first video for astrophotography, and today I'm going to show you guys how to edit a Milky Way photo from scratch. So let's go to Lightroom. I've already done some adjustments, but still let's reset again. Alright, so we start from scratch. So first of all, I'd like to look at the photograph and see if there are any color imperfections. What I mean is, like, if the temperature is warm or cool, and if the tint is to the left or right. But this one seems quite good, quite balanced. There's a balance between the colors, and but yeah, first then I'd like to increase the vibrance to 100, saturation to 100, and still check for the balance. So for example, if the tint is, yeah, you'll see it's very green here, and you don't want this as well, so you want something in between, a balance, let's say. So maybe +5, yeah. And I'm gonna decrease the temperature to yeah, -2 or -3 should be fine. So when you take back the vibrance slider and saturation slider to 0, you will see that it's quite balanced. After that, I'd like to apply some D Haze with the adjustment brush. So we click on adjustment brush. Actually, let's bump up the exposure so we can see where we are applying the brush. So we paint through the sky. I'm just doing it roughly now. You can also zoom in and be more precise if you want. Corners. Yeah, this looks fine for now. Just roughly here as well. Okay, so decrease the exposure again to 0, and now apply some V Haze, and you'll see that the sky gets much more clear, and you'll get rid of the haze. So you can play around with this. Yeah, for now, let's keep it, let's bump it to 80%. After that, try some clarity, though don't go too much. Maybe, let's say 20. And then I'd like to increase the exposure just a bit. Play around with highlights. Yeah, and shadows. Nah, I mean, it's yeah, 15 should be fine. What else? You can also play around with whites. As you can see, it gets brighter. So 25 should be okay. And then you can also adjust the temperature. Just the temperature of the sky, you know. You, of course, don't decrease it a lot, it looks bad. Just maybe -7 and some +4, or let's say +6. Alright, so now our sky looks okay, although we'll work on it a bit more. Just apply some noise reduction. Great. Then maybe a bit contrast and temperature. So play around with it. It's really a subjective topic. It depends on your depends on how you prefer the Milky Way. All right, let's close this. And now we're gonna want to actually, yeah, let's do it. All right, I'll increase the shadows using adjustment brush For the foreground, so using your brush, paint the foreground, increase your exposure to see if you've painted through the whole foreground. Yeah, great. Now let's increase the exposure of the foreground just a bit, and the shadows as well, but not too much. I think this looks fine. Let's close this. All right, I'd like to play around with the hues. So blue primary. If we take it to the left, you see we get much more nicer colors here. And maybe red primary. Yeah, plus 10 should be fine. All right. Of course, you can also play around with the tone curves, but that's for another video. This is just a basic one right now. You can also play around with hue, saturation, luminance. So for example, if I want to decrease the saturation of oranges and maybe the reds as well, or not. Also play around with blue. So this looks much more dramatic compared to the colorful one. I sometimes prefer desaturated Milky Way photos, but it totally depends on my mood and also the photo and the environment. So, alright, this looks fine to me. And then apply some overall noise reduction and sharpening just a bit. Some noise reduction and some color noise reduction. Great. Also, do not forget to apply your profile corrections if you want. Mine looks fine now. I'm not going to play around with it. All right. After this, I sometimes switch to Pixinsight to make some star reduction. So I'll show you guys in a second. Edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Yep, edit. So now we will open up Pixinsight, which is probably the most powerful tool for astrophotographers, but it has a steep learning curve and it's really an advanced software. So let's try this again. Edit in Pixinsight. Great, I think we have it here. Perfect. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to make a star mask. In order to do that, we have to go to processes and find the star mask. So we click on the star mask. Let's zoom in. So for now, let's just use the default values and apply the star mask process. All right, now we have our star mask. So what we do is we click on the star mask tab and drag it on our photo. So, and then we click Command K, and then we have to use morphological transformation in order to reduce the brightness of the stars. Again, let's use the default values for now. Of course, you can always adjust the interlacing, iterations, amount, and elements, and so on. But let's just use the default ones for now. Apply and wait. So as you can see, before, after, before, after, before, after. Yeah, let's apply one more time. Yeah, looks much better. You can see that the stars, the brightness of the stars are really reduced, and the structure of Milky Way is much more clear. Let us save this photo. Save as. Okay, so let's compare these two. As you can see, the left one is the star reduced version, and the right one has the stars brighter, so the original one. Okay, this totally depends on your taste and how you prefer. On some of the photos I prefer star reduction, but some of them I just leave the stars as they are. So yeah, this is a basic um, astrophotography post-processing method. Of course, you can go much deeper and further than this, and some photos just take like 5 minutes, but sometimes you just spend like 45 minutes post-processing the photo. It totally depends on the raw file that you have and what you want to achieve. In this case, this was just a basic application, and yeah, let me know which ones you prefer, the one on the right without star reduction or the one on the left with star reduction. And thank you all for watching. I'll be posting more videos about astrophotography, editing, and also some vlogs from our astro camping sessions.